Well, I just wanted to share some thoughts and reflections on something in our world today. This may mean something or nothing to you, but it's on the politicization of everything today. Everything. There's an insatiable appetite in our world to politicize everything. And particularly over these last few months, we've seen this represented in two tangible items. The face mask and the drug hydroxychloroquine. Up front, I'm someone who wears a mask always out in public. I try to not go to a lot of places outside of what's essential. And when I do have a mask, social distance. Sometimes I go, like I took a couple of my boys the other day to get ice cream, and just thinking, what would some people say about me going to get ice cream out and about, again with masks and social distancing. But hydroxychloroquine, I can't speak very well to that. I can look at some things on the internet, articles, studies. I'm not an expert. I think that's where sometimes we fail to recognize that even though we can access a lot of these reports and articles and stats, that even to sift through them is not always easy. I've asked my own GP about his thoughts on the drug. It's such a challenge, but we are so convinced we live in a black and white world. We're so convinced that gray doesn't exist, that there's not nuance. Everything's right and wrong, black and white, left and right, whatever spectrum we want to use, and it's killing us. It's killing us emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, all of it. And I understand some people may say that I'm just being naive to think. Again, I recognize there is some black and white, but most of life is nuanced with gray, varying shades, and it's hard to walk through things. And we've got to stop politicizing things. I don't think we're going to stop. I think we got an election coming up. I don't think anything's going to get any better. I don't know if I'm cynical. I think that's how it's going to be. It's not going to be fun these next 3 months. And even into the future as COVID still continues and so forth. And layered on top of that is a lot of the racial challenges that we're having. It's so hard. And I feel the desire to stop overly politicizing everything, to understand grace and listening and learning, to understand nuance and gray and living into tension, to respecting the dignity and humanity of people. And that's so hard. You have to understand, I'm a 1 on the Enneagram, if you understand that language. I'm a perfectionist. Things are generally black and white to me, and I've had to learn to move more into the gray and the grace and the nuance. And I think this is going to harm us so much. And I think even as someone like myself, a Christian, a follower of Christ, even more, that I think the politicization of everything that we can get our hands on is not the way of Christ. The greatest political statement is that Jesus is in charge. He is Lord. The good news is true of what God has done through Jesus. But even Christians, we want to take on with the mask stuff and the hydroxychloroquine and everything else. I think, I'm not a therapist, psychologist, but I wonder if the shaming that we so easily put on others is because we're trying to cover our own shame. But I really encourage us to consider not politicizing everything, and to live into grace, listening, learning, the dignity of human beings, even those we disagree with, and to embrace humility and the disarming of our politicization of everything.